$120,000 a year. That is how much you could be making with your online tutoring business. How do I know? Because that is exactly what I'm doing today. Now, there's going to be a lot of people out there who are going to try to tell you that, they can help you make six figures tutoring online, or other businesses that will even say that you can make this much money, doing any kind of business, right? But they haven't actually done it. And today I'm going to be sharing the steps that I took to make this transformation, to make it possible so that you can get there in 5 years or less. Are you guys with me? Now, I'm not going to sell you the hype that this could be like what you're going to earn this year, because I don't know where you're at with your tutoring business, right? You might be in the beginning stages of your tutoring business. You might have had a tutoring business for the last 3 or 4 years. How quickly you get there is going to determine on where you're currently at today and where you want to be. But know what? It doesn't matter. You're going to be able to get there. And that is going to be amazing for you. My name's Joanne Kaminski, and I've been tutoring online since 2010. And I left what felt like my secure teaching job, making $50,000 a year, to be a work-at-home mom. Now, today I have 2 six-figure businesses, one where I teach kids reading online, and another where I help tutors with running their own online tutoring businesses. So I want you guys to think right now, do you think that you could have a 6-figure tutoring business without hiring other tutors? I want to see what your answer is inside of the chat. Type it on in. Do you think that you could have a 6-figure tutoring business without hiring other tutors? I want to welcome Keith Brown in the house, and Amy. Thanks you guys for showing on up. Tracy, thank you. Maria, I see you, my friend. Nicholas, and let's see who else. We've got our Robert in the house. Magnolia Beauty. Woo woo. Awesome. We got the Vegan Rockstar 2011 in the house. So glad that you guys are here and being able to share this. Yes, because I do. I love it. We have another one in the house who's doing it. Yes, it's possible. Yes. Absolutely. I love this. You guys, this is amazing. Because this is the first step, right? It's like really believing that you can. Because if you don't believe you can, guess what? It's going to be true. What you believe becomes true. So I'm so glad there are so many people in the house right now that feel that, yes, this is doable. And you don't have to offer group tutoring, just so you know. But that, I think that's like some of the things that people need to really see, is that it is absolutely possible. And I'm so glad, Tracy, that you shared. I know it's possible, but don't really see how. You're going to see how after today, because I'm going to break down 4 basic tips that you need to follow in order to make it happen. So why is this important, you guys? We have been misled on how much money we can make as teachers, right? When you become a teacher, there is an income cap. There's an amount of money that you can make, and pretty much it stops right there. Like in the school district that I was at, it was like the top paid teacher was making $80,000 a year, capped. I mean, no possibility ever of making a 6-figure income in their lifetime ever in 1 year. Because we've been led with that mentality that a teacher is worth this much amount of money. We've allowed other people to decide for us how much we are worth. And if we keep this kind of income cap on the top of our brain, it's going to keep you from creating multiple income streams. Now, I've been able to do this without multiple income streams of making the 6 figures, right? I've been able to have 2 6-figure businesses because of multiple income streams. And so I think I don't have to be capped. Like when I worked 40 hours in the school system, I really didn't have much more time to be able to give to another business. But if I'm working one business at 20 hours, making a 6-figure income, that allows me then another 20 hours that I could be spending on making another 6-figure income, right? And that's where multiple income streams can come in. They don't even have to be part of the process in order for you to be able to make that 6 figures. Now, many tutors think that they need to either work for another tutoring company, which puts a cap on how much they can earn, add their name to tutoring lists like Wyzant, which by the way is a good strategy when you're first trying to get students in the beginning and be able to get a few students, get some testimonials, but it's a terrible long-term business strategy term. Or they think they have to hire other tutors. And what I'm going to suggest is going to be very, very different from what other people tell you. Why? Because I've actually gotten the result that a lot of tutors desire and they do not have yet. So if you follow the advice that I give you today, then you're going to actually not only earn more income, but you're going to transform your life. You're going to become clear on what you want to achieve in your life. You are going to all of a sudden become, you're going to be clear on what you want to be able to experience in your life. You're going to put your priorities first. You're going to release that fear of failure. You're also going to release that fear of success and do things that other teachers and tutors could only dream of doing. You're going to have a higher quality of life where you no longer have to use money as your excuse for not doing the things that you want to be able to do. You're going to be able to give more to charities and causes that are meaningful to you. And you no longer are going to have to worry about bargaining what your tutoring services are worth. Instead, people are going to be happy to pay you what you are worth. But the first step that people need to do is I'm going to put it on up here. We need to change your mindset. So when I got started, I did not have this 6-figure a year income stream. My mindset was, I just want to be able to replace my income. So I had just left the teaching world. I had 3 very young children at the time at home, and we had just taken out a $40,000 loan for a pool that we were building. It was like really bad timing to leave your, what felt like at the time, reliable job to do all of this stuff. And I remember at one point, our dishwasher broke. And I was sitting there and I was like, okay, I don't have a job. My dishwasher is now broken. And I remember thinking inside of my head, I've heard about like this law of attraction stuff before, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it into action. And I started saying to myself, as I was washing the dishes by hand, I started feeling gratitude. I'm so grateful that I have this opportunity to be able to wash the dishes by hand. And that a new dishwasher is coming into our lives. I did this for 2 weeks every single day. I just felt really like at peace and in harmony with washing the dishes by hand. And I would always say, I'm grateful that a new dishwasher is going to come into our lives. And I knew we didn't have the money to pay for a dishwasher, right? And so I just kept on with this thought of, I know a new dishwasher is going to come into our lives. And I started with this thought process, this belief system. I know it's going to happen. And I felt excitement. And I could actually picture it, where it was going to go and what it was going to be like to have it. But at the same time, I wasn't upset or angry with where I specifically was in the situation that I was in. And I had a friend call me and she said, hey, a friend of ours is moving. Can you come with us to help him move? And I'm just not really the type of person that really enjoys helping people move. But I said, hey, can I bring my kids along? And she said, yes. I'm like, all right, I'm in. So I come with my kids. And as I get to the house, there's these people like running out of the house. And it's like they won the lottery. And I'm like trying to figure this out, because typically when I help move people, there's people moving things from the house to like another vehicle so they can drive it to the next vehicle. Usually people aren't running out of the house like, yeah, like with the thing over their head, like super excited. And I'm like so confused here, like about what's going on. I get there and I hear somebody shout out of the back door, hey, anyone need a dishwasher? And I was like, I need a dishwasher. I look at my friend, the one who invited me. I said, I need a dishwasher. Like, mine just broke. I said, so what do I do? She goes, ask him how much he'd like for it. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, great. Because these other people look like they're just like taking stuff, right? And I don't want to be like, I'm taking it. So I look at my friend, I said, how much would you like for it? He goes, well, it's brand new, but I have no use for it. How about $10? And I was like, done. I like gave him the $10. I put the dishwasher into my husband's truck and came home and was like, honey, look what I have. I have a brand new dishwasher. And it was the most exciting thing in my life. And I think here's the thing that it comes down to with mindset inside of our business. You have to believe it's possible. And you also need to enjoy the moment of which you are at currently with your tutoring business. So be grateful. If you've got 2 students right now, be grateful for them and say, I'm so excited for all of the other students that I have that are going to come into my tutoring business. And make a place for them, make a space for them. Picture where they're going to fall on your calendar, okay? This isn't just the power, though. I'm going to share more steps, and my last step is going to be the most powerful one. So you want to stay all the way to the end, you guys. But this is a very pivotal step. A lot of people think that in order to be able to make 10K, I need lots and lots of students. And I'm going to debunk that myth and show you how that isn't necessarily the case and how to make it actually possible for you. Now, while I was going through this process of transitioning between having my own business and leaving the school system, I was doing a lot of reading. I read a ton of books on mindset. I read Think and Grow Rich, The Secret. I read The Mindset, The New Psychology of Success by Carol Dweck. I read The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. The 10 Times Rule by Grant Cardone. That would take you actually take a goal that you have and then you add a 0 to it. Like if you have a number, let's say I want to make, $1,000 a month. Now I add a 0 to it and now I'm making $10,000 a month, right? I do these little things to 10 times what it is I do. If I'm taking, instead of taking 1 action, I'm taking now 10 actions so that I can get the results that I want. You 10x everything. You 10x your thinking, you 10x your goals. It's amazing. I read Unleash the Power from Within by Tony Robbins. Goals, How to Get Everything You Want by Brian Tracy. Homeless to Billionaire by Andres Pierre and Dr. Joe Vitale. I really like this one because it shared the story of how a man literally went from being homeless to becoming a billionaire. And I think reading stories like that make it seem possible to happen. I read The Proximity Principle by Ken Coleman that talked about the 4 types of people that you need to have in your life if you want success, that you need to have people that are kind of walking the same path as you. Accountability partners. You need to have people that are mentors, people that you learn from, you grow from. You have coaches that are going to help take you to that next level. Amazing book. Definitely check it out. Superfans by Pat Flynn. Superfans, in that book, he talks about how if you had 100 clients that continue to buy every single service and product that you put on out there, imagine what that would do for your business. And it's not really a big number when you think about it, 100 people that would just, anytime you put something out there, they would buy it. So that was amazing and changing my thinking. Because it's not like you need an audience of 5 million people in order to, create the results that you want to get. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. We specifically go in depth on this one with the Jumpstart Your Online Tutoring Business Masterclass. The Miracle Equation by Hal Elrod taught me about how to kind of start my day differently. Influence by Robert B. Cialdini, which helped me understand the inner workings of people's brains and what motivates them to say yes. Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk, which talks about, look, you do not just do one thing, you do as many things as you possibly can. Tribes by Seth Godin, all about creating community, creating people that are following you. Habit Stacking by S.J. Scott, which kind of went through, okay, what are some of the different habits that I need to have in place in order to have the success that I want to be able to have. The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. A lot of times we think that obstacles are problems, right? But obstacles are opportunities. And so he flipped my brain and thinking about it that way and what opportunity is going to come out of this obstacle that you're experiencing right now. The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. How to handle your money so that you can be able to have the amount of money to be able to do the things that you want to be able to do. The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. Loved it because it was all about how do I get out of my fear and just, take action in 5 seconds versus sitting there in my thoughts, which are hindering and holding me back. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. It's all about those, the thoughts that poor people have versus how rich people think. So those are some of the books that I ended up reading that really began changing my mindset, right? I really, really invested a lot. I invested in programs. I invested in books. And a lot of the books you can get for free. You can get them from the library if your library is open. A lot of libraries even have books that you can get right onto your phone delivered to you, right? We have the cafe library system, and I can go on in. We have an app called Libby, and on Libby I can go on in and I can reserve books that I want to be able to access online. So lots of different opportunities for you, and I gave you lots of different books that you could take a look at. I would love for you guys to share with me, have you read any of the books that I suggested? If so, which one? And do you have a book that you would like to suggest that has helped you? This is definitely going to help you. All right, step 2. Step 2 is trust your gut. All right, trust your gut. There are going to be so many people that are going to be talking about your business, how you should do things, what you should do. And you're going to have this feeling that you want to listen to what it is that they're saying. But then might also be this other voice that's talking and telling you if this is right or not for you. And it's very interesting. If you didn't get to see last Thursday, I did a YouTube live with Sunil Godse, and he wrote the book Gut, and he actually goes through and talks about the 4 types of cues that our body goes through. It's our intuition to let us know if we're on the right path or not. And so he went through how do you go through that process? And he has a 7-day challenge that I'm going to be taking a look at very soon, so that I can even get better at listening to my gut. But listening to my gut, I have a feeling inside of my stomach. And the feeling inside of my stomach will tell me if I'm on the right path or not. If it sinks and I have this really deep and heavy feeling, I know that's not a right fit for me. The other thing is I'll ask a question and I get an answer. I get a yes or no. Now, your intuition might not sound the same as what my intuition sounds like. And that was very interesting from what Sunil Godse had to say about all of this, because when I was thinking about this, I was like, that's so cool to know that everybody's intuition doesn't work exactly the same. And so when I say I get this feeling and other people are like, yeah, I never get that, that's because that's not one of the cueing systems that your intuition is giving you. So you may already know what some of your cueing systems are, and you can utilize that to be able to figure it out. Now, here are some of the things that people told me. My husband told me I needed to go work for another tutoring company. And I applied. And then I found out that they were paying their tutors $10 to $15 an hour. And I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not starting at that price. Not happening. Absolutely not. And then I found out that those companies were charging $50 an hour. I was like, okay, well, that's somewhere I can start. I'm going to start at $40. Now, inside of me, I thought, I don't know if I can actually make $40 an hour. And so I think that this is something that's really, really pivotal to think about when we're going through this process, right? What do you think you can get for your tutoring services? Now, this is back in 2010, right? Rates have gone on up since then. I did have a lot of background knowledge, a lot of experience, all that kind of stuff. But I was kind of beaten up from the school system. I didn't know if I could get those kinds of results. I mean, I'd come from a school system where only 30% of our kids were reading on grade level. I really didn't know if my tutoring could get the kinds of results I wanted to be able to get. I really had something to prove to myself first before I could raise my rates and say I can get this result for other people. And so I began just tracking my results for 2 years and finding out what are the kinds of results that I get with my students. Another bit of advice that I got frequently from other people is you need to hire other tutors. And I instantly got this feeling inside of me that said, Joanne, you've already worked with a group of adults when you were in the school system as a reading specialist, and you didn't enjoy that. And you're going to, if you have your own online tutoring business where you have tutors underneath you, you're going to have to manage those tutors. Now, you don't have to be a micromanager, but you're still going to have to manage them. You're going to have to make sure that they're showing up to the sessions. You're going to have to make sure that you always have students for them. And there were other stresses that would automatically start building up in my mind. And I thought, no, that's not the path for me. I just kept getting a big no. That's not where I want to go. I want to help other tutors. But first, I want to become successful myself, because I don't want to be one of those people that says I can get results for people but can't actually get them. And I want to make sure that I can actually do what I'm saying I can, because I'm authentic, you guys. I love to be able to try something, do it myself, and if I can do it, be able to teach others. And so for me, it didn't feel right to share with people how to start their own online tutoring business, but I had just kind of created a mediocre one myself, right? I wanted to create an awesome online tutoring business that would be able to that would motivate others to want to be able to do it as well. At that point in time, there were a lot of tutors out there that didn't believe that online was even a method that was even something that could be done or should be done. It should all be only in person. So I had a lot of obstacles to or opportunities to come across through that entire process and through that stage. But I knew that was where my heart was guiding me. And I see other people saying, yep, not the path for me either. Yeah. Absolutely. And so, but it might be the path for you, right? And that's okay. If that's the path for you, that's cool. That's great. Then stick with that. Now, the next tip number 3, is to start backwards. Determine how much money you want to be able to make in a year. So let's say it's the $100,000 that you want to be able to make in a year. So I'm going to put $100,000 is what I want to be able to make. Now I want you to think about how many weeks out of the year do you want to be able to work, right? So if you say, okay, I want to be able to work, I want to take off 4 weeks throughout the year, which means then I have 48 weeks that I am going to be working. If I'm going to be working 48 weeks, how many hours am I going to be working each week? Let's say I want to work 20 hours for 48 weeks, okay? So let's do 48 times 20, and we end up getting 960. That's 960 hours in the year. I'll take that 100,000, divide it by 960. That means I need to be charging $104 an hour. So you might look at that number and be like, ooh, yeah, no, I'm charging like 30 right now. So that's probably not going to work for me. Okay, cool. So then you start saying, okay, maybe I'm going to work 30 hours a week. All right. So now I can take that 48 and I can do 48 times 30. 48 times 30. And that is now 1,440 hours. I take the 100,000, divide that by 1,440, and I get $69 an hour. Okay, you might look at that number and be like, that's doable. All right. So that means I need to get students to work 30 hours, making $70 an hour. Now, let's say you're that $30 an hour person right now. What I want you to do is I want you to increase your rate for your existing clients to $50 an hour. This is if you are already pretty much book solid, okay? Some of your clients are going to leave, which is going to make room for your new $70 an hour clients. That is going to increase the amount that you are making right now today. Now, I know some of you guys are thinking, wait, but I'm just getting started. I don't have any clients. Okay, that's where I started too. So I want you to think, how much do you think you could get paid an hour? If you don't think you can get paid $70 an hour, don't start there, right? First, start at a number you think you can get book solid. If you think it's 40, if you think it's 50, start there. Then, after you get book solid, raise your rates for your current clients, but not the full amount. Some will leave. That's okay. Some may not leave, but you'll be making more money, right? And then as you take on new clients, you put them at that higher rate. And that will help you to get closer to your $100,000 a year, right? And this is like a 5-year path, right? We're not talking about that you're going to get there overnight. It took me 8 years because I didn't have anybody guiding me on how to do this, right? There was nobody who had really paved the path for me to be able to follow. Nobody had created programs like the Jumpstart Your Online Tutoring Business Masterclass. There was nothing like that out there. People weren't networking with each other like they are today. So there were a lot of things that didn't exist when I was getting started that could have helped me had I had achieve results faster had they been around. But it did take me a while. Plus, I was trying to build 2 businesses at once. And that's one of the biggest problems people will focus is they're trying to divide their attention between 2 places. It's really hard to market to 2 different audiences. And I was trying to market to tutors and I was trying to market to help my students. So I had 2 different audiences that I was kind of fighting against as I was creating this momentum inside of my business. So on May 10th, I'm actually going to be holding a free webinar where you're going to be able to learn how to create a profitable online tutoring business this summer. I have a link. It's in the description of the YouTube video. If you want to click on that, you'll be able to sign up and be able to join us. And if you're inside of Facebook, then Beth will grab that link and put that link inside of Facebook for you so that you guys have access to that. It is also on my free stuff page. I have onlinetutor.com/free-stuff. If you go there, it'll be the very first link at the top, and you will be able to join that webinar that we're having. Now, this last step is the biggest step that makes a difference for tutors. And it's going to help you stand out amongst all the other tutors that are out there. It's going to help show people that you are an expert versus telling them that you're an expert, right? Like say, oh, I went to this school for this many years, or I taught for this many years, right? That's telling them that you're an expert versus showing you that you are an expert. And in the beginning, I went on out there and I did everything that I could possibly do to let people know that I was tutoring. I talked to everybody that I knew. I put signs out. I put ads out on Craigslist. I put flyers out inside of my community. I created a Facebook page. I connected with all of my current clients on social media so that I could connect with them and continue to build that relationship with them. There were a lot of things that I did to be able to get found. I created a website. I created a free video series, an email list, lots and lots of different strategies that I utilized and tried and put into place to be able to get clients. And what I'm going to be sharing with you today is going to get you more referrals from people that you know and people you don't know. It's going to get you booked solid faster, and it's going to earn you more money quicker. Guess what, you guys? You could be just like Starbucks. Be known locally and be known around the world. As an online tutor, there couldn't be a better formula for success than that. And I'm going to share with you how you can, number 4, brand yourself. All right. So I want you to start thinking about things that Starbucks does, right? They have an image, they have colors, they have font that they use, right? That kind of makes you stand out. When you see their logo of that mermaid, you know it's Starbucks. You can do these things as well. Your face is your logo. So you want to get a professional photo of yourself. All right. You can get a professional photo of yourself for $100 or less. And then you can be able to use that photo on your social media everywhere so that people, when they see you, they know that it is you. And they don't get confused. Oh, is that so-and-so? I don't know. I can't tell. It's a different picture. You want it to be the same face every single time because you are the logo. You are the face. People want to hire tutors because they get to choose who their tutor is. When they go to some of those other tutoring companies where there's lots of tutors working for them, they don't get to choose who the tutor is. The company is choosing who the best tutor is going to be. They think that they know who the best fit's going to be, and they give a tutor based off of that, versus allowing the actual, parent to choose who the tutor is going to be. So they love when they get to work with independent tutors because they get to choose you. So you want to really make that a big part of what it is that you do. Don't try to sell yourself as a large tutoring company. Separate yourself as an individual sole proprietor tutor. Like, you come to work, if your child is going to come to me, they're going to come to me. You don't put the words we on our website, like as if I have other tutors working for me that I don't, because maybe it's in my future that I think I do see that. You want to sell your tutoring services as they are today, not as you wish them to be in the future, okay? So it's not it's not all about us, it's all about me page. So really put yourself on out there. Then you want to be able to create some kind of a marketing message that's going to make you be different. What makes you different? For me, it was that I can close the gap a full year with 8 to 12 hours of instruction. Okay, that was my result that I was able to get. What type of result are you able to get? If you don't know that, that's okay. Now you know to look for that. Okay? Now you have somebody saying, all right, what kind of result can you get? Because it is all about results. That's what people are going to pay for. They're going to pay for the results. They're not paying for your time. They're paying for the overall result that you can get for their child. I want you to think about what your ubiquitous footprint is going to be. Ubiquitous means found everywhere. Okay, so your ubiquitous footprint is you need to put yourself out there everywhere you could possibly imagine. How can you be found everywhere? Most tutors want to know that one little thing that I can do to be found. And I'm going to tell you, if you just want to do one little thing to found, you are not going to stand out amongst everybody else. You're going to stand out because people are like, oh my gosh, I find you everywhere. That's going to make you stand out, right? A lot of tutors, when they get started, they're scared to share their personal information about themselves because, what if somebody would do something with that online, right? Online, people will trust you if you put your information out there. They're going to distrust you or think that you could be scamming them if you leave that information out, right? So be completely authentic with people. Be who you are. Don't hide anything from them. Share information about yourself. Share your stories. How did you struggle when you were a kid? Share your stories. What motivated you to want to be able to do what it is that you do today? You could share that through interviews on podcasts, through blog posts, through getting featured in magazines and articles and newspapers. You can share your story on social media through images, like on Instagram, or through creating, your own YouTube channel and sharing some of these stories with people. This is a relationship business, and connecting with your current clients online is actually going to help increase how many more clients find you, because you're always going to be on top of mind for those specific people. They're going to see that you're always, recruiting to be able to get new students, or, doing free assessments or free consultations, and they're going to be your first people to refer you. So keeping a good connection with them online is going to be really, really useful. And when you guys do these things, it absolutely is going to make a huge difference with your tutoring business. So let's kind of go on back to what are those 4 steps that you need to take into place. First, you need to change your mindset. Let's come back on over here. Change your mindset. Number 2, trust your gut. We're not all meant to lead the exact same path. So you got to listen and figure out what is going to be the path that's going to be right for you. And then 3, start backwards. Think about how much money you do want to be able to make so that you can actually come up with a clear plan to make that amount of money. A lot of people do it backwards. They just hope that they can make a certain amount of money. Here, you're going to come up with a clear plan. If you know you need to get 30 students, you can put those 30 students on your calendar and find out where you're going to work with them. And then you take a look at where they're showing on up so that you can then use that time to be able to connect with those students, those clients, at the time spot that you want. If I have a whole bunch of daytime hours I want to connect with, then I have to be reaching out to the homeschool community, or I got to be reaching out to someone that's to a time zone that's 6 hours ahead of me. right? So there's different things that I can do, which means that the actions that I take are going to be different compared to some of the actions that other people might take based off the times that they are looking to book with their tutoring business. And then you want to, lastly, brand yourself, because you are your own business. You don't want to be somebody who's seen as somebody who works for other tutoring companies. You want to be the go-to person in your industry, and you can make that happen. Today, I don't have to do any advertising anymore because I've created this ubiquitous footprint that leads directly to me. I have people that are still talking to me. I still create relationships with people that can refer me. But you have the power to be able to create whatever type of business you absolutely can. It saddens me when somebody says my new rate is going to be $15,000 per hour. You're going to charge $15,000 an hour for your tutoring services. I think it's got to be something that's going to be doable. So I hope through this, you guys were able to take a look and see how it absolutely is possible for you to make over $100,000 in a year, that you can make 10K. And we went through the process on how you can do that. And if you missed any of that, go back, watch it, see how we broke that down, because you have to believe it to absolutely make it happen. If you believe that you can make $15,000 an hour, sure, you can. Are you going to get there tomorrow? Absolutely not. You have to go through the mindset change in order to make that happen. So hopefully this helps as you guys go on through this process and you're able to make more money just because you watched this video. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.